Hey there, Prairie Plant Girl here. Do you remember the first plant you grew as a gardener? Was it a tomato? They say tomatoes are the gateway vegetable to growing a garden. You start off with a little tomato plant, maybe in the corner of your deck or patio. Then maybe you want a little bit of basil to make some bruschetta, or maybe some lettuce for salads. And before you know it, you're adding something new every year. And before you know it, you have all sorts of vegetables that you grew yourself and you're enjoying on a regular basis. That is the gateway to gardening, tomatoes. So let's get some tomatoes started today so that I can have lots of tasty tomatoes in my garden this season. Now, I like to grow a variety of tomatoes. One of my favorite types of tomatoes is paste tomatoes. I make a lot of sauces and dishes with tomatoes where I want the paste tomato, that nice thick meaty tomato that'll give me lots of good substance to a sauce or a salsa. So I have three kinds. I'm going to be growing Amish paste, Mamma Mia, and Aroma, just a good standard old Roma that's very resistant to different diseases. So it's always good to have one good standby in there. Maybe not the most superior flavor, but it's always reliable. Then I have one of my very favorite tomatoes, and probably the first tomato or close to the first tomato I ever grew, and that's a Manitoba tomato. Just a nice round tomato. It has a good mix between being a juicy tomato and a meaty tomato. I don't find it overly acidic or sweet. It's just a good standard tomato that I can easily use to add to sauces and things, or even slice up, eat fresh, or have in a salad. So it's a great tomato, and I always like to have several in my garden. This is also a bush tomato. It might be the only bush tomato that I'm growing. It's indeterminate, and it'll just keep on growing and producing tomatoes all season long. Now, I have a 110 frost-free day season, so a lot of these tomatoes will produce for most of my season until frost once they start. But the bush tomato is one, if you have a very long season, you might want to look for an indeterminate tomato that will keep producing for you for a very long time, whereas determinate tomatoes, they will set most of their fruit and mature that fruit in a short period of time, like a month to like 2 months at the most. So anyways, the bush tomato I'm growing is Manitoba. I have a couple of cherry tomatoes. Now these will probably go in over closer to my deck where I can just grab a few and snack on them, not right out in my main garden. But I have Sun Gold. It's a beautiful golden tomato that's very nice and sweet. And then I have, what's it called? Super Sweet, I think. Yeah, Super Sweet 100. Nice small cherry tomato that's also very, very sweet. Great little snacking tomatoes. And you can easily throw them into salads or onto veggie trays and things as well. Then I have kind of some specialty tomatoes, and these have just won my heart, and I'm starting to get a real selection, and one day I need to pare down how many I grow, but they're just all so good I can't decide. So I have Thornburn's Terracotta tomato. This was recommended to me a few years ago by one of my viewers. Beautiful tomato. It's a kind of a golden peachy color tomato, beautiful flavor. Radiator Charlie's Mortgage Lifter. This is a reddish, almost pink tomato. Again, I love this tomato. It's a nice size, round tomato. And then I have my black tomatoes. So I have Japanese black trifeli. Really like this. It's a bit more of an oblong shaped tomato, nice dark color, and the black tomatoes always have a super rich, almost smoky flavor to them. Black Krim. This is, I think, the first black tomato I ever tried. Beautiful. This one is more of an heirloom shape to it with that kind of round bottom and the really bumpy top. Really, really dark shoulders and a really deep red bottom. It almost looks like maybe it's gone past its prime, when I find it's the best time to pick it and you'll get the best flavor out of it. And then the black vernissage is just another nice tomato. This isn't my very favorite, but it's still a nice one. Much better than the green vernissage in my opinion. So if you're looking at the vernissage tomatoes, go with the black one. If you want that good deep flavor. The green one, I don't know, if you're into green tomatoes, I think that's more the flavor profile you'll get out of the green one. So I'm going to be planting my tomatoes in just small little containers. So this doesn't look like very many tomatoes that are going in, but I will have several when it's all said and done. But I just want to get them started like this. And you can see here's my peppers. So they'll start out, I'll plant several seeds in each of these little cells. And that's what I did with my peppers. And then hopefully you can see here, I have like 3 sprouted right in this one cell of, this is a sweet sunrise pepper right here. And they'll start growing there. And then once they get up to about this stage, or even a little bit smaller, more like these guys over here, what's this, Pathfinder, I'll divide them out. I've already taken some out of this tray, and I will divide them out, and then I will put them in their own individual pots. So then I can plant several seeds to make sure I get good germination, but it's not taking up a lot of space, and just take however many plants I want and put them up into larger pots to grow on until it's time to put them in my garden. So this is a Monet jalapeno pepper right here. So that's what I did with this tray here. There was Monet jalapenos right here. You can still see I still have a few seeds, late stragglers coming up, but I've already pricked out, I think, 3 or 4 of these. So that's all I'll keep. And that's what I'm gonna do with my tomatoes as well. So tomatoes are quite easy to sow and get growing. All you really need is, like I said, a little bit of space to put a few. And I'm going to be putting them into 1 cell per each variety for the most part. And you just want them about 1/4 inch deep. And I'm going to put several in each of these little cells. So this is the Thornberry terracotta. That was a little more than I needed. So I have several there. And I just want, where's that? Here. I just want to make a little space, and I'm going to put just a couple little holes, just about 1/4 inch deep, and I'll just pop like 2 seeds in each of those holes. So I made 4 little holes here. I'm going to try and get about 2 seeds in each hole. Some might have had 1, some might have had 3. And then I'm just going to pop the soil over top. And what did I say that was? I better get the Thornberry Burns terracotta. So I'm just going to put a label in that little spot so I know what it is. And I'm just going to go through and do them all the same way. So again, I have the black vernissage. Take like maybe 8 or so seeds out. Make a few little dimply holes in each spot. Pop a couple seeds in each hole down approximately 1/4 inch deep. Oops. I might have had a few extra. Just push the soil over top. Black vernissage. So put that tag in there. Black grim. Some of these are getting pretty empty. I tried really hard this year not to over purchase seeds, so I was forced to use up some of my seeds that I already have. Now sometimes then if you're completely out of seed and then you can't get it the next year, that doesn't work in your favor, but I have started to get a real selection of seeds, so I'm trying really hard to cut back. And also, my kids aren't living here anymore. They're grown up, and I just don't need to be growing as big of a garden. So I really need to learn to cut back. So it's kind of a forced cutback kind of situation here. So now I have the black trifeli, Japanese black trifeli. I love this tomato. So it looks like I wound up with all my black tomatoes in one little seed tray here. So like I said, I'm kind of really planting these really tight into these cells, but they won't stay here for very long. And it just keeps a good space management for me in my grow room here. And then I can just move them out and pick the ones that I want, the strongest looking seedlings, plant those up, and then I can just toss the rest. So I have a few things I'm still waiting for in some of these trays, and then I'll be able to get rid of these trays of peppers that I've already pricked some out of. So this is the Radiator Charlie. And I'm going to try my best with these specialty tomatoes to just prick out one plant from each of these groupings here to grow on in my own garden. I might put a couple in pots so that I have some to share with others, but I'm gonna try and hold myself to just one of these kind of more specialty tomatoes in my own garden. So now the bush tomato, I wanna do two cells, and it's probably more than I really need, but, oh, these are both brand new packs. I wonder which one's older. It's probably more than I need, but I would like to have 3 or 4 plants of this. I do use quite a bit of these tomatoes. It's just a good standard tomato, so I would like to have and make sure I have plenty of these when it comes time to put them in my garden, because I do use them not just for fresh eating, but also, like I said, for cooking and making sauces and things. So the specialty ones with their deep smoky flavor, sometimes I will add them to a sauce or a salsa or something, but I'm not using a whole lot of them. You don't need very much, just add that little bit of flavor. So the Manitobas I can use just to get more substance to the sauce. And then I'm going to do my paste tomatoes. So let's do the Romas. And it looks like I've saved seed from the Romas, so we'll see how well these turn out. They look pretty old. And I don't do, like some people say you have to ferment tomato seeds and that. I cannot be bothered with that. I just scrape them out of the tomato, dry them off, and put them away. And usually they do well. The only thing is you might wind up with a little bit of a cross if it's been grown next to other tomatoes. It might not have a true variety. So we'll see what comes out of this, because that's what's in here. So where's the tag for that? And then I have my paste tomatoes. And again, I'm going to want a few of these because I'll use these for sauces and things. So I have my Amish paste. So I'll do 2 of these kind of cells in each of these trays with each of these varieties of the Amish paste and the Mamma Mia. And I didn't make 2 tags, so I'll have to watch this back later to know where I put those. But there's the Mamma Mias. So again, just a couple in each hole. Now tomatoes will usually take, sometimes they'll pop up and germinate like very quickly, just in a couple of days. And sometimes they can take, you know, a week or even a little bit more. So don't panic. And it can be just like how deep, like I can see some of these Mamma Mia's got a little bit deep there, the holes I maybe got a little crazy with there. So those might take a little bit longer to come up, but they will come up usually. So as long as it's fairly fresh seed. Now I have the Sun Gold. I just have a couple of seeds left of this, and because these are the last 2 in the last tray, I'm just going to put kind of 1 hole in the middle of 2 trays and let them come along and do their thing. Stick these tags like this so I know I went that way with them. And then here's the Super Sweet 100s. Again, a couple holes. Now, with all of my seeds that I grow, I always like to put a little bit of vermiculite on top. I've already covered over with the soil. I just kind of pinched it over the holes I had made. So I don't need to worry about adding soil on top. I'm just going to put a slight coating of vermiculite. Just kind of helps with moisture control at the surface of the soil here. And then even though I have these few peppers coming up, most of these peppers that are large like this, I could just be cutting off. I'm just waiting for the ones beside to germinate and get popped out. So I'm just going to put this humidity dome on. It's going to go on a heat mat, bottom heat really will help things like tomatoes and peppers pop up from below, pop up and germinate quickly. So a little bit of a heat mat, just around like 24 to 26 degrees Celsius is all you need, nothing crazy. And once I see most of the germination on these tomatoes, I will pop this lid off, and you can see it's kind of poked up. That's actually why I had this at this end, was I was just trying to kind of keep the dome lifted a little bit where the bigger peppers are, so they're not getting diseased. And it'll still hold some humidity down at this end. And I'll just wait for them to grow on. And then, like I said, once they've gotten, you know, a couple of true leaves on them, I'll pot them up just like I did with the peppers. So super easy and great way to get that gateway vegetable started in your grow space. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.